You got a hashtag one tat.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's one tat?
So the funny thing, again, another story, one tat came from our own players, and I think that's kind of why it means so much to me. So in 2007, I had a former player, I'll leave names out of this, but the former player, he was playing at University of Florida. He goes home over break to Boston. He's flying from Boston back to Florida, connecting flight at Atlanta, because if you fly anywhere, at least in the Southeast, you connect to Atlanta. If you were going to hell, you would connect to Atlanta, basically. So he comes to Atlanta. That we have, of course, if there's any ice, everybody in the South loses their mind. So he comes and his flight gets canceled from Atlanta going to Florida. So back then, 2007, 2008, all the kids, college players in particular, college kids, they were on Facebook. So he gets on Facebook, rattles around, and is like, hey, any of my old former Titan teammates, come. So one of his former teammates that was on the 16U Titans team goes to the airport, picks him up, gets him to the bus station. So he takes the bus from Atlanta to Gainesville. And so from that, the players through them started saying one tat, once Titan, always Titan. So it's evolved into a whole thing within our organization. It couldn't be more proud of it. And I think it really embodies, this is bigger than me. This is bigger than them, And so, I tell our guys all the time, you stand on the shoulders of the guys that came before you. You see further, and people see you not for what you did. They see you for what people before you came. So when you wear that uniform, you're now helping not only yourself, but the people that are coming behind you. So I say that uniform. So back to the story, kind of going full circle, is that same uniforms that I opened in that box in the spring of 2004, I still have the same uniforms. I still have them upstairs in there. And so the only time that I bring out those uniforms are for national championship games.
Oh, wow.
We've lost one.
Wow.
We've lost one national championship. So we're in that particular uniform for my teams, we're 9-1 in that uniform. And actually, we lost. The very first one was in the Sandlot World Series.
I remember that.
We lost.
I was there. Yes. I was working there.
Oh, yeah. That was the only national championship game that we ever lost, was in those uniforms. We were 9-0 after that.
Wow. And
Yeah.
dude, now that you say that,
Because it was down in like Murfreesboro, wasn't it?
Yeah. I remember hearing that story about that you guys had a championship. It was like,
yeah, that's the only time we wore them. And so the whole thing was Titans wear pinstripes on Sundays. And so because I had to come up with a reason, back up. The uniforms are those old high school uniforms that are like thick. Well, now everybody wears the thin stuff and it's breathable and it's cute. So I had to come up with some way to make people be fired up about wearing this hot, heavy uniform. Well, the only time we wear that uniform is national championship, saying, buddy, when you break that uniform out, it's a big deal. They don't care how hot and heavy it is.
Man.
And so the other cool thing that we've done is inside the uniform on the numbers, we'll write the last names of all the people that have worn that jersey and won a national championship.
Oh, wow.
So when you pull that thing on, it's not you just fighting with.
Damn, that's cool, dude. Cool. That is literally history right there. But that's you're capturing all the elements that make people want to be a part of something bigger than that's cool. It's those are the little things that matter, That's literally what it's all about. So, all right. So, and the age groups are 8U to 18U, right?
8U to 18. We've got kids from 8 to 18. We got a youth age coordinator. With our new advent of Top Velocity, that'll be instituting into our program quite a bit. So we're excited about that.
Let's go there.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
Again, I'm a storyteller. So,
yeah. Well, I remember Top Velocity. I saw it. It came about a couple years ago. I saw Brent. All of a sudden, the stuff he's talking about, I'm like, man, this really makes a lot of sense. I like it. I started following him.
Yeah.
It was really neat. It's a big deal.
Yes. And so what's interesting is everybody kind of comes to these things in their own way. So I have 2 girls. God was fair. He gave me 2 girls. He didn't give me boys, and they're tougher than any of you guys. So if you're not gonna stir them, I promise you. So so my oldest that's here, I can brag on her. She's my kid. So
yeah,
at 12, I would argue she was undoubtedly probably top 10 pitchers in the country. She was dominant. I think in softball, pitchers pitch these stupid number of innings. So she threw probably like 240 innings in a year and struck out like 320. I mean, it was asinine. Averaging almost 2 strikeouts per inning. It was really crazy. Stupid numbers. So she we go from that and like, all right, she's getting a lot of accolades, and I'm like, hey, I own an academy. I know how to do this. My kids won a top in the country. I got it figured out. So at 13, she's still really successful. 14, pretty successful. And the field starts closing the gap. And I'm like, we're doing all the same stuff that we were doing before. Like, what's going on? So at 15, kind of flat lines again. And she's busting her tail. She's doing and I feel terrible because she's doing everything I'm asking her to do. And she's always a competitor, just a bulldog. And I love that about her, but just didn't have that oomph when it comes to some of the velocity. And I'm like, man, what am I missing? So I go on, as a parent, we all just like, hey, we'll do anything for our kids. So I start doing investigation. I'm looking, and we start lifting weights, and we're lifting weights. She's getting stronger, but she's not seeing any velocity gains. So we get hooked up with a group out of Chicago, and they are specific training to softball. It's called a group called OGX. They do a great job, but they start having to do very specific lifts and player performance training that's specific to her movement that she was doing. 18 months, she jumps like 6 miles an hour. And
wow.
so she's probably at that time 58, 59. 18 months later, she's sitting 62, 63. She's touching some 64, 65. So for those that are like listening and don't quite understand, like baseball terms, that would be from somebody going from like 83 to 91, 92. It's just a massive jump. Drastic. And so, of course, as a dad, I'm fired up. I'm excited about it. And she's put in all the work. And I get a younger daughter that's now going to get that whole process as well. But then it dawns on me, hits me in the face, like as a business owner, like, holy crap, I've missed it. I've completely missed this gap of training in my program. And as a dad, I'm happy about it because now I've figured it out. But as a business owner, I'm like, oh, I've got all these kids that are in my program and we're missing a huge, and if I'm supposed to be the expert, these parents got no shot, right? I mean, they don't know what I know, and I'm sitting here saying that, it used to be, hey, go hit, go field, go throw, and I'm like, dude, you need to go lift. You got to go lift. You got to build a bigger engine. So through that, created another crusade, I guess you would say, in my world of like, I've got to be able to fill this gap within my business. As an entrepreneur, if there's a problem, we got to solve it. And so we start looking, and there's a lot of incredible programs, and this is not to disparage any of those, but you've got Driveline, you've got Tread, you've got Florida Baseball Armory, you've got the Texas Baseball Ranch. All of these are incredible stuff. But with dealing with travel baseball and baseball and softball, kids from, we'll call it prepubescent to going through puberty, that 13, 14-year-old range for baseball guys, that's a tough age because you're awkward, your body's growing, you don't know how to do a lot of things. And so one of the things that Top Velocity brought to the table was two things. One, from a very scientific way of looking at it, very analytical, they have reverse engineered how to throw 90 miles an hour. So let me explain that a little bit. So basically they have like 5,000 guys in their database, and they will say, all right, you're 15 years old and you're X height, weight, all of these kind of things. And they put you in the database. We do an assessment that's like 80 points, and only one of those is how hard you throw a baseball. It's all the way down to your ankle. It's called dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, plantar, you put your toe in a plant. Anyway, so they measuring the range of motion from ankles, knees, hip, internal rotation, shoulder hip separation, all of the things we've heard, but very, very granular stuff down to vertical jump, long jump, lateral jump, all these intangibles. And from there, that goes into their AI engine, and then it spits back to you the top 10 things that you need to improve on to get you to 90 miles an hour based off all of the data they have. So for the last 22 years, me and you are baseball guys. You bring me your 15-year-old son. Is like, hey, I want to get him to throw 90. Perfect. Well, he's going to lift a lot of weights. He's got to lift a lot of heavy stuff. We want him to be mobile. We got to, make sure he's stretched out. And then we're going to throw long toss, and we're going to work on his delivery. And yeah. And you're like, okay, well, when's he going to throw 90? I don't know. We do all these things. He's going to get better. Yeah, he's going to get better. But I couldn't tell you exactly what he needed to do. And I think that's where Top Velocity has kind of separated himself. Exactly what a player needs to do to be able to get to that 90. But their approach in doing it is a holistic approach. It's not just throwing plyo balls against a wall. It's, it's front squats. It's, it's a holistic Olympic lifting. There's med balls where you're throwing two balls with throwing 2-pound balls with two hands. It's a very different way than some of the other ones are doing it. But for the youth athlete, I just really, really love the idea that it was a holistic approach to health and agility and movement. And the byproduct of that was just velocity.
I got to say, in my own keeping up with it on my own, the science, it's pretty irrefutable. It's pretty hard to argue.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so, so with that, that's how I came about top velocity. So now the next step is, all right, now I know what the answer is. Now, how do I do that? So there wasn't a top velocity Kennesaw in the Atlanta area, so we opened up top velocity Kennesaw. So top velocity Kennesaw is open to anybody and everybody on planet Earth. If you're in an area and you're in listening voice, my voice, love to have us topvelocityknn.com, and you can book a call. Love to have you do that. Within our program, we've instituted, and I believe, and I think I'm a big, huge advocate of when people say things. That's one thing. I watch more what you do than what you say. So within my Titans program, we've instituted across the board for all of our baseball teams, 14 and up, it's just part of what we do. And so if I own top velocity Kennesaw and I didn't do that, I think that people from the outside should look at me, well, if it's so good, why didn't he make his own teams do it? I jumped that and I believe in it so much. All of my own teams, it's mandated. If you're going to be in our program, you're going to do this. But in top velocity Kennesaw, we're open to anybody and everybody, whatever jersey you wear.
Gotcha. So you do not have to be a Titan to be a part of top velocity Kennesaw, right?
Correct.
So that's awesome. And talk to me, just to give Brent a shout out. I mean, it's really cool. Like it's cool what he did. And I remember it just, for me, I was like, that's a cool facility, but it started out like it was right in the movement when I first saw him with the Bat Bros and the King of JUCO and all those guys, Trevor Bauer and all them were making videos. All of a sudden I saw top velocity. And his videos were just so neat because he would zoom in on his foot and place a certain way, and then you look at the camera and say, no, and then he put his foot a certain way, and he'd be like, thumbs up. Yeah. And he'd do the motion. So, I fell in love with it. I thought it was really neat.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy. We've got to meet him, obviously, worked together through opening this franchise, so we're excited about it. I know we're looking at dates for the summer, obviously, with Atlanta and Perfect Game and PBR. Tons and tons and tons of teams coming in. So we're looking to be able to launch some dates to be able to do some camps and do some assessments for people that are coming in town. So it's an exciting time for that.